Phase 4 has already come and gone. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris and welcome back to another video. Today I am ranking all of the MCU Phase 4 projects, from the movies to the TV shows to the special presentation, and later on in this video, for most of this video, I'll have a special guest joining me, so stay tuned for that. But before I do, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below your ranking of the Phase 4 projects, and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Without further ado, coming in dead last for me is She-Hulk. This show was so hard to watch. I had to skip around episodes and take massive breaks, and while it does, try and poke fun at the MCU fandom and be like, oh, we're not a cameo of the week show, it turns into that. So it's almost a hypocritical show in a sense. Yes, we got Daredevil near the end, which was cool to see, but the finale of the show, borderline disastrous with the fourth wall breaks, and just a huge miss for me when it comes to MCU shows. Number 15 for me, Thor: Love and Thunder. There's not much else to say here. It's the worst MCU movie to date, in my opinion. If you watch my MCU ranking, the link will be up above. Painfully unfunny, complete parody from start to finish. Taika lost his touch almost here, because I thought the Ragnarok was so good, and I just don't know why this movie was such a miss. They wasted Christian Bale in the MCU as Gore the God Butcher, and it's just a really big disappointment. Number 14 for me is What If. This is a cool concept. We've got this various characters from across the MCU galaxy and some really unique stories. The Marvel Zombies episode was really cool. It's going to set up its own spin-off. We got the Doctor Strange episode, which makes me appreciate his origin story even more. And we even got some cool stuff with Ultron Vision, but a lot of the stories are throwaway and just kind of unnecessary. So I like the concept here, but I don't know how necessary this is to the overall MCU. Number 13 for me is WandaVision, a show that doesn't feel very rewatchable. The first 3 episodes are sort of summarized in the 4th episode from Monica's point of view. I thought the finale was underwhelming. Now I will say, episode 4, there's a scene between Vision and Wanda. You don't get to make that choice for me, Wanda! The moment right there gives me chills. I mean, they had the most hype moment in an MCU Disney Plus show when Evan Peters walks through and we're like, oh my gosh, this is connecting to the Fox X-Men. And then it kind of all went downhill from there, unfortunately. But there are some, iconic moments and moments to enjoy here in WandaVision. Number 12 for me, and this is going to be my most controversial pick, is Moon Knight. I thought this show had its moments to shine. Setting up a lot of intrigue out of the gate with Oscar Isaac playing this character. What the hell's going on? He has multiple personalities. Ethan Hawke is the villain. Going into this was my most anticipated MCU show. And then they make a decision in the 4th episode that I feel was never really warranted, because after that revelation is made in the 4th episode, it really went nowhere, and the finale, again, falls victim to this entire MCU template where we get this huge battle in the sky with Egyptian gods. How does this really fit into the rest of the MCU? It's very unsatisfying to me, and then the ending gave me no closure. I'm cool with ambiguous endings, but the final shot of this was almost I looked around the room with the people I was watching, I was like, is that it? It just felt really lackluster. Moon Knight was a big letdown. Number 11 for me is Miss Marvel, a show that started out with a lot of promise. Really love the coming of age feel, and any time, even in the finale, when we see Kamala and her friends just hanging out and doing low-level stuff in high school, that's when the show excels. But there's a lot of moments just completely abandons the template that was set up, and if it had been consistently a coming of age high school show from start to finish, would have loved this show. But that's not what it is. We get these huge flashbacks and trying to tell this grand story. It just really kind of lost its footing, in my opinion. This show fell victim to pacing issues. I remember I was watching some of these episodes, 4 and 5 in particular, and falling asleep when I was watching them. It just became forgettable. I am excited to see more of Miss Marvel in the Marvels, though. I think the casting is great there with Iman Vellani, and there's a lot of fun to be had. Plus that post-credit scene, it was dope. So joining me for the rest of the video is Trevor from Film Geeks. How the hell are you doing?
I'm doing great. I've literally been sitting right off camera watching this all happen. I've only seen 10 projects from MCU Phase 4.
You want to go ahead and kickstart with your number 10?
I would love to. At number 10, I'm not going to stay long on it. Thor: Love and Thunder. I hate this movie. End of story.
It's a stinker, man. My number 10 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, a movie with some really high highs and some low lows. Sam Raimi does direct the hell out of it with his style, and it shines through. Like you mentioned earlier in the video that you guys should check out on Trevor's channel, which I will link up above, it has some cheesy elements too that went a little too far for me, and I don't love what they do with the Illuminati, but there are some really cool moments as well.
Number 9 is Eternals. I say it's all time. Would have worked much better as a series. Nothing was fleshed out. I wanted to really love this one, and it was the biggest disappointment of the year last year for me.
Eternals is also my number 9, and I think this movie, again, doing way too much for its own good, trying to introduce these crazy concepts that really don't fit into the MCU at this current moment in time. Interested to see if we'll even see these characters ever again. That's the biggest question I have right now.
I don't think we ever will.
It's crazy.
Number 8 for me, What If. A very cool concept, and I would say I liked the first half of this show, but then we start talking later on, I don't really remember the latter half. I felt it was maybe a special would have been cool. Hey, what if this happened? A 45-minute thing. Not a full season. We are going to get season 2. We'll see how it turns out.
My number 8, Black Widow, the most underrated, I think, of Phase 4. A movie that gets way too much hate. So much fun family vibes here with Yelena and Red Guardian being introduced. Black Widow's a total blast. I watched it 3 times the weekend it came out, and it's really gets the short end of the stick for no reason.
So I actually saw 11 MCU projects in Phase Phase 4, I forgot to put one on there, but my number 8 now is going to be Multiverse of Madness. Now, I enjoyed this one a hell of a lot more than you. My most anticipated movie of the year, and it didn't live up to all my expectations, but I still enjoyed it, still had a fun time with it. It's wacky, it's weird, it's different, and I had a good time. Scarlet Witch is a fantastic villain. I love America Chavez. I love the, I guess, like, how this weird it got with Sam Raimi, and I love the visuals. It all turned out really well.
Number 7 for me is Loki, a show that's grown on me over time. At first, didn't know if I really liked the way that it wrapped up, but now as we see Kang's presence and how this show is going to affect the MCU, it's starting to unfold more. I'm on board to maybe rewatch this show very soon. We got Loki, Sylvie, Owen Wilson as Mobius here. Stole the show in my opinion. And I plan to rewatch Loki very soon. We're getting a season 2, one of the first MCU shows to get a season 2, so that's exciting.
At number 7 for me is going to be Black Widow. He talked about this, pretty much hit all my thoughts. It's fun, the terrible villains. I love Yelena, I love Red Guardian, and I just love how low stakes this movie is. Kind of reminds me of Ant-Man, just one you can kind of toss on. Low stakes movie, have some fun.
Number 6 for me is the newly released Black Panther Wakanda Forever, a movie that has probably the best villain in Phase 4 aside from like Green Goblin. We finally got a villain who was fleshed out here and you really saw where he was coming from. We introduced Riri Williams as Ironheart. The world building's explored even more, but it also has some pacing issues. The movie doesn't need to be 2 hours and 40 minutes in my opinion. You could have chopped damn near 30 minutes there. I personally found myself dozing off at times, though I am going to rewatch it soon and hopefully have new appreciation for it.
At number 6 for me is going to be Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like certain aspects, don't like certain aspects. I think John Walker is a great character added to this, and I think the new Captain America, Sam Wilson's absolutely badass. The Flag Smashers did not need to be in the show whatsoever. They brought like a minuscule threat, if that's the word. John Walker to me is the ultimate villain of the show. He's the ultimate threat of the show, trying to be Captain America. Honestly, he's trying to be someone when he's not, and he cracks, and you see him crack, and they do a really good job with that, and they did a really good thing when you see his right-hand man get taken out. I love the way that was shot, kind of like jaw drops to the floor. It was awesome. It was badass. Bucky, he's pretty cool too.
My number 5 is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Nice.
I love this show. I have since I first watched it. I agree the Flag Smashers are the worst part of the show, but we've got Bucky finally getting his time to shine, exploring like his PTSD and trauma, having to find, you know, his new life. Really good performance by Sebastian Stan. The moment, the cold open of episode 4 when he's breaking down like he's finally free from the Winter Soldier. Chills. Sam Wilson as Captain America. I love it the moment that he gets his new suit and flashes that window. It was so dope. And of course, John Walker, a great anti-hero figure who's constantly battling his own demons. This introduced Val, and I think that moving forward, looking back on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it's going to be a huge one, especially when we get Thunderbolts, like for introducing and pushing this new side of the MCU.
Number 5 for me, WandaVision. I loved WandaVision. I had so much fun. Not a show I can go back and rewatch, because I tried to go back and rewatch it, and there's a lot of fluff with the episodes, and if they made the show strictly just a sitcom every episode, I would have been on board with that. I like that aspect, but I like that Vision starts to figure out that there is something else going on here, and Scarlet Witch is kind of being a Scarlet Witch. Agatha Harkness is a great villain. Monica Rambeau is absolutely badass, and like the White Vision is still out there, so maybe we'll give Vision again.
I started laughing because I got so hungry. You didn't say anything, sorry. I started to lose it for a sec.
I don't know who I am!
I like WandaVision quite a bit. It's pretty good. White Vision's out there somewhere. We'll find him eventually.
Maybe in Phase 10.
I'm scared.
Number 4 for me is Hawkeye. I'm due for a rewatch of this soon because it is the newest like holiday fun time show for the MCU. We've got Kingpin here, and a lot of people dwell on the fact that Kingpin wasn't the same as the Daredevil show, so this show stinks. Horrible take in my opinion, because Kate Bishop and Hawkeye himself, Clint Barton, are the main focus of the show.
Absolutely.
And it's basically her getting the mantle passed on to her. She's a very relatable character, you know, going through her struggles with her parents and just growing up in that college age. Love Kate Bishop so much. We got Yelena here, and Kate Bishop and Yelena make a great duo. Hawkeye slaps. I will never understand the hate for this show.
No, that's my number 4. I love Hawkeye. We're coming in the Christmas mood again. I want to rewatch this show, have fun with this show. I love Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. I love Lucky the Pizza Dog.
Yes.
Every episode, I just had fun. It just had a smile on my face. Again, kind of felt lower stakes. And Kingpin, I didn't have a problem with. Kate Bishop kind of whoops his ass a little bit, so maybe that's where the problems come in. It's a good, fun holiday family show. It's like a family show during the holiday.
Now we're getting to the top 3. My number 3 is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Badass, action-packed MCU movie. Great. Isn't it so much fun?
So much fun.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it in your video, which you guys should check out, linked up above. Shang-Chi kicks so much ass in this movie. The lore building of Ta Lo and this fantasy side of the MCU, it's just untapped potential, and I hope we see more like it soon. My runner-up for my favorite Phase 4 project is Werewolf by Night, a fantastic special presentation, and I hope Marvel does more of these because they're like 50-minute one-offs, and the way that it was shot in black and white, very eerie and atmospheric, perfect to watch around the Halloween season, and the main character, Jack, is so well fleshed out. There's a lot of mystery around him and all these hunters that gather around to try and get the Bloodstone. They're basically like, it's like a Hunger Games type plot in my opinion. Crazy things unfold, and of course, we get some werewolf action in the end that is absolutely haunting for the MCU. Some really chilling shots, and overall, just a really well put together MCU special.
Number 2 for me, Spider-Man No Way Home. I've talked about this movie enough. I just fast forward to get Tobey and Andrew on there, and it's one of the best damn things you ever see. When you see Tobey, Andrew, and Tom Holland, Spider-Man, they're all Spider-Man, swinging through the world, swinging in the air together, and they're screaming, whoa, whoa! Gives me chills in my butt. Don't even
Peter
care.
3.
Peter 3.
Spider-Man No Way Home is my number 1 favorite MCU movie from Phase 4. I adore this thing. Basically everything I've said before. All 3 Spider-Man, but also a story about Tom Holland's Peter Parker finding himself when he hits the lowest of lows. He's brought back up by the other Spider-Man. Perfect movie. 3 is the magic number.
Very nice. That's like the song, right?
The era of Spider-Man No Way Home is unmatched. Like, I'm getting nostalgic for it already. I can't wait to rewatch that movie soon.
Yeah, I'm excited to rewatch it too. Number 1 for me, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This movie I've talked about enough. I love Riri Williams. I absolutely love Namor, and just the way they dove deep into Namor in this world. Didn't know how on board I was with Shuri. I thought Shuri was a great Black Panther. The movie just worked for me. That post-credit scene hit me in the emotion. It was badass. It was action-packed. Great music, great score, and the best visuals ever for the MCU, in my opinion.
I want to rewatch the movie, honestly, but I'm saving it. I'm saving it. So
I'm gonna go today without you.
That was a lot of fun. There's my ranking and Trevor's ranking of all the Phase 4 MCU projects. Phase 4, is it the worst phase? Is it the best phase? Let us know in the comments down below. Let us know your ranking of the shows, movies, special presentations, all that. Where's Wakanda Forever land? Subscribe to Trevor's channel, Film Geeks. Hit that like button and subscribe into that notification bell to my channel and his channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.